is for me. It's for me to keep anchoring myself into reality and don't get lost in how they play with my brain and try to alter reality with the narrative they implant in a lot of my memories. But it's really it gets really stupid as you see in some of the videos. It's really bad. Because it's just trying to paint a story that doesn't even make sense. And I'm supposed to see them as this investigative, analyzing individual. And they're analyzing things in ways that they're supposed to be showing that they've proved these things they've been painting me as. Listen, today what's happening is they force me to have this stimulation sensations. And then they're having children play rape victims that's supposed to be just a way to get me to go to trial because they're protecting children. And wanting me to accept this thing. So I'm going to be quick with this. First of all, let me just start off with the introduction because I need to understand. Well, I need to always even refresh myself in the reality that this is happening to me because I'm what you call a target individual. As a target individual, I deal with all kind of manipulation and tormenting tactics where they attack my mind with this technology that can alter my brain. And that started on August 19, 2019. But as a target individual, I understand that this is a governmental program that is basically well orchestrated to break down the test subject. The target individuals, we are test subjects. This is way bigger than us. It's not what's presenting to us. I know I deal with a lot of freaking mentally challenged people because what I'm going to say, there's people around you who's supposed to gaslight you into accepting this. And they have these like infantile ways of just closures. It's like, oh, you're done. We did it. We did done. Like things that were over so long ago. But the reason why they say that at this moment is because I'm speaking about that and they want me to identify with this. And they really want to say like, oh, we caught you. And they have this like theatrics where they think they're really being successful at it. Even if they don't think they're successful, they stay in character. They think at one point I'll be subscribing to them. Me, I just let that just pile up. All the stupidity. That's why I make the videos of all the stupidity that you've seen. Because it just gives you an idea of how they want you to think. And it continuously just built on top of things they've created and manipulated and changed the story into something else. And then they have this teenage disconnected clowns. They really are so disconnected. They don't even understand how bad it is. The level they truly are hated. They don't even get that concept because it's a group thing. And that group thing has like almost like minimized the reality of how detestable they are. They really think that they're really portraying themselves as this investigative work. That's why I make these videos. For me also to just like get a grip of reality when I see them. So I can behave accordingly. However it is, it needs to be accordingly. This is a program led by the government. They contract clowns around you to disorient you, to disturb you, to mess with you. The gang stalking that you hear, all of that is part of this program. For me, today, this is almost obsolete. It doesn't even matter who's stalking me, who this is. It doesn't faze me because they stepped it up to another level. They now deal with this manipulation V2K. It makes me almost like neglect completely this gang stalking. But before August 19, 2019, which is the day this manipulation started, is when they started manipulating my brain. Matter of fact, let me just, as I'm saying this here, to disorient me from saying what I'm about to say, because like I said, this ecosystem around you is supposed to stop you from thinking critically. So as I'm calling out the fact that they do this gang stalk, they do these so nasty things where they try to break you down psychologically, even prior to the technology is applied, at least prior that the technology is applied, this trash is something, we did it. And she's trying to take my mind away from what I'm about to break down here. And she said that, and they also try to agitate me because the hatred is building up. So the explosion is about to happen if I see them, But she says that in order for me to stop this, for me to be able to stop saying what I'm going to say, because she wants me to stick with the ways they make me think. prior to August 19, 2019. And let me just finish up. This is a program led by the government. It's happening to men, women, and children all around the world. Not all target individuals deal with the V2K or the direct energy. Some just deal with gang stalking. Some deal with V2K and the direct energy, and also the technology that is rewiring the brain. I deal with all of it, but I'm not unique in that. So many others do deal with that. If you're a target individual, some of your testimonials can be reflected by others. Others target individuals have said the same thing as you. That's why I'm so strong in my understanding today. It's funny because when I understand what they do to me, because others have said the same things, they're like, oh, he knows. Like, yes, I know. And I know your job is to disorient me and not see you for the shit that you are that deserve to die. That's your job. And do not see this program for a program that torture even babies. Torture even babies. Harm them. Your job is to paint this fantasy where you're supposed to be this avenging justice seekers analyzer, when instead of a trash involving a program where even babies are dying that you're part of. You're just a bottom feeder in this big machine that deserve to die for what they're part of. And let me repeat that this trash deserve to die. As facilitated as it is to do the evil that they're doing, death is what they deserve. And worse than that. I want to say that. I want to make sure it's clear. And I understand that I stand on that. I'm not threatening, but I know that this is what they deserve. Especially when they use this childlike individual. They said, I'm not trying to harm anybody here. But they're using this childlike individual with this tantrum-like ways of trying to gaslight you. And I think that's how it works. For me, it's important to make sure that I don't forget that fact before anything. They are nothings. They are just delusional. Now today, I'm being manipulated in a way where my brain is just rewired every time I see children. From the youngest to the oldest. And then they try to gaslight me to internalize what they do to my brain. And they use even children. Now, I don't even want to humanize them. They use the regressed individual. You know what I'm trying to say? With immaturity of a thumb, trying to break you down into accepting these storylines they come up. For me, when I see these retards, it's clear that I want to make it clear that I see them for the retards that they are. And I welcome them to come and gaslight me in person, because this is allowing me that I need to do it to let out. And whatever consequences come from that, I'm welcoming them too. Now, what you're seeing here is a tote bag. A tote bag. This is how bad it is. Because today they manipulate me in these degrading ways. They try to create storylines in my memories before August 19, 2019. This is how it is. These stories have been layered and recreated in different ways to try to work these storylines. It's like they create layers on the stories. If it doesn't work out, let's try something else. If it doesn't work out, we'll try this something else. It's like they're searching on how to paint the story. It started with this. So before August 19, 2019, what started with me, it was just a lot of gang stalking. Like the typical things that target individual deal with. I even made videos about it in my first video. Just random people following you in groups sometimes. Like this is that's actually the more extreme time of the gang stalking. Because before that, it was a little bit more settled. It's like maybe one individual just staring at you a little bit too much, another maybe two. But at the end, closer to August 19, 2019, around that summer, it got so intense where like group of people were like following me. Those group of people were female gender. young adults-ish individuals just following me, just like in groups, like a good like 4 or 5 at the same time, following me at some point. That's when things get like weird. It's like, because at first I was like, okay, well, I'm getting some extra attention. I thought it was really because of me. All right, maybe it's my ego. I was like, oh man, I'm getting a lot of attention. I guess I'm looking great. But then when it became like where the group of people follow me, I was like, okay, this is too weird. This is just too weird for like a group of 5, 3, 4 at the same time just walking, following me. I was like, okay, this is something else here. It's not like one individual walking by, like, no, just a group. So that's when I knew something was going on. Now let me just say, the talk back here means something. And this is like retarded. This stuff has been very retarded. Very stupid. I want to start with the beginning of this talk back and what it is today. I remember going to a coffee shop and there was people following me there too. These people started messing with me, with one individual specifically that sat to a table across me. This young black girl who's probably like 25-ish. She had a tote bag. Just like that, or some version of that. She looked like this Afrocentric black girl in her mid-20s. Looked like she probably used scents and whatnot. First, they were trying to make me imagine her to be underage, as the typical thing they do. And because they were trying to be like, oh, you feel something? It's like, no, she was just staring at me, and I was just recognizing her for staring at me. And they just not put memories with stimulation and sensation, like, oh, we know you, you are known. It's like a bunch of retard. It became so bad that they started doing, to make me subscribe to this story, they start having kids, teenagers, who I don't believe they usually have tote bags, start having tote bags. And you know how they were trying to correlate? It's like, you see, that's proof that whoever that person was sitting looking at you was underage, because these teenage kids they have tote bags. That's how they wanted me to start thinking. That they're proof, if this teenager are wearing tote bag, I mean that person is a teenager too. That's how I should correlate things. And so around me, they'll be like underage teenager, obvious teenager with tote bags, which should show that because they're wearing tote bag, that person is the same age. This is the fucking retardation that these clowns around me were supposed to make me subscribe to. That it is impossible, or it's not likely that this person was an adult because she had a tote bag like that. Why? Because these clowns here have tote bags. I'm surrounded by fucking retards like that want me to think they're just analyzing things here. That is just so pure retardation. Now this starts changing because I'm starting, myself, starting to carrying around a tote bag because I see the how helpful it is. And I'm like, I guess I'm underage too now because I have a tote bag. I'm wearing a tote bag. So I must be underage too. That's how it works, right? Fucking clowns. They have special forces of all sorts to gaslight me in these ways of thinking. So that becomes too retarded, even for these clowns. So what they start doing? They start making me think when a group of girls were following me. Now those girls did look a bit younger than that person with the tote bag. This plausibility that this were just like teenagers of some sort. But they would follow me in groups, like 3, 4. What they start doing, they start creating stimulation. When in reality, I was like, I'm noticing that these people are following me, and it's weird. They start giving me stimulation, my memories, toward this group of 4 or 5, like a team of individual. It's like, all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, oh yeah. When it was so weird, I was like, what the hell is going on? That I was stimulated by this group of people following me. These clowns are retards that want me to subscribe to this. It's like, yeah, we proved they were caught you. You got caught. You were stimulated. And then start trying to now be selective. No, that one on the left there, yes. Stupidity. And they have these clowns like, yeah, we're napped. Fucking trash. When you are there, like, wondering why is, like, you're not even thinking, you can't even, like, my thoughts was like, what is going on? Like, you're just, like, suspicious of something happening here. And this trash, like, now we're napped. We're napped. Is sending these fucking clowns to working for top tier pedophiles. Try to gaslight you to accepting this thing. Try to disorient you into thinking this retarded way. These fuckers who's involved in the program touching babies and hey, now you pay. Now you're napped. Fucking losers. To try to gaslight you into accepting the storyline that this group of people that will make you feel so uncomfortable because they're a group of them following you, literally going to where you're going, finding them, all them, four of them, following the shit of you, walking. And right now you were like, oh, stimulation. No, that's what you're implanting. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? These clowns have no shame. Going from this way to correlate the storyline they want to be told back. Now going back to, okay, well, what about this group of people following you? And then start creating stories because initially, obviously, I'm like thinking that, oh man, I think I'm, the reason why people follow me or look at me is because I'm good looking or something like that. I know it's an ego thing, I guess. Then when I noticed like 4 people follow me, it's like, okay, this weird thing is happening. What's going on here? They try to be creating a storyline and like, no, but because at that point too, I was freshly single, moved to a new city. So of course I was interested to meet women. And so they make me think, oh, but when you moved to this neighborhood, you saw this girl, this woman with the dog. She's like a 26-year-old, 27. I'm 30, 31. So I'm single, fresh on the market. After 3 years of being in some kind of relationship, of course I want to meet a woman. So they try to bring out, oh, but you also you're excited to maybe meet some women, and try to like match this, not even match, mix these things up, and you use these clowns like, now we matched it. You wanted this group of 4 or 5 of freaking retard trash. Can you imagine having clowns around you? And the reason why they act this way is simple. It's because they have children playing rape victims. And today, any story they can put together, they're going to put it together because they need to stay in character for the performance they're going to have. And they send this fucking trash try to act fanatical. It's a character. It's a role. They're not fanatical. They're desperate. They're desperate for me to subscribe to their story so they can be in character and feel better about that. Fucking retards. I detest this shit. I can't wait to see them wherever it is. They tell me I'm going to see them in court. I can't wait to see what trash looks like in whatever states. Let me just stay strong. See these clowns for what they are. I don't care what fucking age they look like. I don't care what gender they come. They're fucking retarded. I swear to my death that these people will not live their fantasy in front of me. Whatever it is, I don't care whatever I do, but I gotta make sure that this doesn't happen. However it goes down, it's my last thing I need to do. Whatever it goes, trash recurring stories and then using this tantrum, this teenage shit thinks that's how life goes. I'll make my purpose to make them understand that this shit that's not how it goes. You take that risk, your risk is gonna come with. Go play the fucking tantrum like retard toddler that you were supposed to be. Watch how it goes down. Tiger Mitchell, stay strong.